how do I track or know what the results are of my billboards that are out there on the highway? How do we measure whether this is something that we should lean into more or we should cut back on? How do, so can you give us some insight into what you do with your clients to figure out like your, morning radio show, for example, right? Like that might have been the best place to place radio spots, but does that mean that we shouldn't be placing spots in the evening? Did we test it to see what the results are of those spots? And then how would you measure that test when you go to market with it?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm such a fan of the digital space, right? Because it has so much data that comes with it. So, you can track everything. So on your AdWords campaign or a Facebook campaign or an SEO campaign, you have so much data to work with. And then let's say it's an SEO campaign, I can see, okay, how many leads am I driving to your site? Let's say how much has your organic traffic gone up? What's your conversion rate? Is that improving? And then we can work backwards to see, okay, how much is it costing us to get a lead? What's the conversion rate, etc. I think in the at a home space and stuff like that, you have to remember each part of the marketing mix is going to function a different way. You have to already be an established brand to be buying major billboards on a highway. A lot of people do it as an ego play. And what happens is it doesn't really work, right? The billboard is functioning as top of mind awareness. That's what we call it. So I already know you. I would name you in a focus group. Now let me keep you top of mind as you go about your life. And the answer to your question is you use different unique URLs and phone numbers to track where they're coming from. But it's not easy. I think you get to the point where you're buying bus ads and radio ads and TV ads and stuff like that. You're in a place where you're probably doing very well. And so you can kind of guess where they're coming from. But I have used unique URLs. You can use tracking URLs. You can use phone numbers, stuff like that to kind of guess where they're coming from. You can also ask people, but the problem is if you ask leads where they heard about you, if you're someone like, say, Diamond and Diamond that I work with, I mean, we're working with many, many publishers across the country, and usually people will say TV because there's some sort of Hollywood element to it where they heard you there. But they might have also saw you on Facebook. They might have also saw you other places. So it is difficult in that sense. That's why I do advocate for younger firms, those infancy stages, to start with that which gives you a lot of data. So your Facebook campaign or your Meta campaign, your SEO, your AdWords, work with the data, kind of figure out who's your ideal client. If you're a divorce lawyer, in that specific client's example, the client that you actually want is actually mid to upper range, because the people that make $250,000, $300,000 a year, they ask their friends for a divorce lawyer. So we found from our information that we were gathering is that we actually want the client in the range of about 70 to 90K. And from that, we can kind of use that data to figure out what's working.